Hey guys, welcome back to Homesteading Off the Grid. I have a story for you. I took a big chance about a week or so ago, and I was pleasantly surprised with the outcome. It was an outcome I didn't expect. It was a very humbling outcome. It was an eye-opener. It was a reminder of something I preach all the time. You know, that was not thunder. That sounded like a very definitive growl. And I really am trying not to talk about this stuff. And guys, I made a video already this morning. It was 15 minutes long that I just deleted because it wasn't me. It's not the me that I like to be. It was the me that we can all be. It was the frustrated me. Here we go again. Someone or something's throwing something at me. Okay, get my 6, look for Bigfoot, Sasquatch, blah, 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 blah. You know, when you're called, you're called. So anyway, I kind of went on a rant, made a stupid video. I'm not even going to tell you the title because it wasn't the me that I like to be. It's crazy. I always tell my kid that my day doesn't officially start until he wakes up. And I tell this to my beautiful bride dearly, aka Giggly Girl. I tell her too. My day doesn't officially start until they wake up. And it's so crazy because I usually get up several hours before them. And I do a lot of things. Like today, I've already gone for my run. They keep distracting me. Let's go stand. I might have to get into the wood line so we can see what may or may not be back in there. I know I'm all over the place, but this story is going to make sense. This is one of those stories that will restore your faith in humanity. It did mine in a big way. All right. Did you hear that? Really, really, really get my 6. Okay, guys, we can make a choice in life to focus on the things that make us happy, or we can choose to focus on the things that do not make us happy. We can focus on all the times in our past in which we were taken advantage of, in which people mistook our kindness for weakness. We can take a look at the times we were wronged and focus on that, and we can focus on the times in which we were wrong, in which we made bad choices and did stupid things. And if we do that enough, guys, I'm trying to get a seat with a better view right here. Hold on. If we do that enough, we can become miserable. We can view the world as a terrible, dark, nasty place filled with terrible, dark, nasty people. And we can view ourselves as terrible, dark, nasty individuals. So about a week ago, 10 days ago, and I shared this story with you guys the next day, I think, or maybe that day. I was out on, I think, a mountain bike ride that day. I mix it up. I have issues with my back that seem to be getting worse with time. And so, you know, I can't just go out there and run for 20 or 30 or 45 minutes a day, every day, like I used to. But I don't let it stop me. So I'll go out there and run for 20 or 30 minutes 3 days a week, and then the other 3 or 4 days I mountain bike because my back doesn't take the pounding. I will not allow myself to become something I don't want to be at the hands of an excuse, okay? I need to do my cardio. I want to exercise. I want to stay fit. If I can't do it from running because of the pounding, I'll do as much of it as I can from the running, then I'll get on the mountain bike for the rest. Maybe someday it'll all be biking. Maybe someday it'll be joining the gym and doing some elliptical thing. So, but anyway, I was out on a mountain bike ride about 10 days ago, and I saw this guy that was limping. I mentioned, I seen him. He started walking very regularly and consistently, like every day, not, a couple days a week or, well, I'll walk this week, but not next week. Every day. He averages 6 miles a day now. He does 16 miles on Saturdays, and he's lost like half of his body weight. He was obese. Now he's not. He's still got some weight to lose, but he is a much healthier person than he was 4 or 5 months ago. And he started doing this because of the pandemic. He's working from home. And I got to know this. I know this because I saw him limping, asked him if he was going to be able to make it back to his house. And he said no, he doesn't think he could. And he was like 4 miles away from his house. So I came back, got the truck, went and picked him up, gave him a ride home. It felt like the natural thing to do because obviously the guy needed help. But my instincts, part of me said, when my son saw me doing it, he said, oh, that's nice for you to do it. I almost stopped and didn't do it. I almost let this guy limp home. Didn't want to do it because my son said, well, that's nice. And so many times in the past, so many people have confused my kindness for weakness, And I spent a lot of years living somewhere where it was just so bad. The only way, self-preservation had to take over. And it got to the point to where I had to, if someone were nice to me, I couldn't be nice back. If it was something as simple as walking down the street and somebody said, hello, sir, I couldn't say hello back. Not because that person might take advantage, viewing my there's definitely something back here throwing stuff at us. I wasn't so much concerned with that person that said hi to me, taking advantage of me if I were to say hi back. It was the person maybe 10 people down from them who saw me being polite and kind. Maybe they would start hatching plans for me, okay? It was the environment in which I lived for 6 years, and that's all I can say about it here. So I just stopped being nice, really, outside of my house, outside of my family, in public. Whereas so many people, and I mentioned it in that video where I talked about giving that guy a ride, so many people will only be nice if they're in public because they want to be seen being nice. Narcissists. But that's why 30 people passed this guy, didn't stop for help. I mentioned that because there was no one there to see him being nice. So why would they be nice? I kind of took the opposite route and would only be nice if there was no one around to see it. Well, anyway, maybe 3 evenings ago, I was mowing grass down in the fruit orchard, and my beautiful bride dearly watch back there. That's where something's getting thrown, and I just saw movement. So my beautiful bride dearly, aka Giggly Girl, comes out and she stops me and she goes, there's a bag on the porch, front porch. And so I said, okay, I'll check it. There's guys. Well, a lot of you have been reading my books and you've been reading real stuff that happened that I can't talk about on social media. Here, I can mention this vaguely. Okay, once when we lived in Mindanao, the mall that was within sight of one of our apartments where we spent a short time. This is just before we came to the U.S. We'd finally worked our way out of the jungle, out of the provinces, made it back to the city, and we're getting very, very close to being able to afford to come to the U.S. The mall that we could see from one part of our property we rented, if we looked out the right window, was bombed. A couple of days later, we went in there and ate pizza at the Pizza Hut. 2 days after that, it was bombed again. You want details? Can't give them to you. So anyway, she knew not to just open the bag and look and see what was in the bag. So I went and I looked in the bag, and I figured it was, I have this one guy over here that used to try to if he knew I was making a video, he'd try to video bomb it by either yelling, "Hey, my name," or running outside or making a noise. And sometimes he'd bring stuff, or we'd see him do it to see if I would mention it in the video. And of course, we just never acknowledged it. And he finally stopped. Thank God. If I was going to have to pull my crayon out again, but anyway, I figured, well, okay, this guy's back at it. Maybe it's like a, dead animal. He's trying to make it look like a gift from Bigfoot Sasquatch, and I'll mention it on the video. But that wasn't the case. I looked in the bag. There were 2 bags, and there was like a 6-pack of an adult beverage, which we gifted to some friends of ours. And then there was like a box. It said on it, there was a sticker. It said Albemarle Baking Company, which is like a very pricey, baked goods place here in Charlottesville. And there was a note on top. You know what it said? It said, "Thanks for the lift," and it had this guy's name. It was the guy that I gave the ride to, about a week or so ago. He didn't come by and try to, spout off, waste my time spouting off about his worldviews and then his political opinions and all this stuff that just is such a waste of time to me. I mean, some people get into that. I don't. I'd rather sit and read a book than listen to someone talk about those things. That is not me. It's like they were throwing something at us to get our attention. We come here. Where'd they go? So anyway, my point is this. I took a big chance with this guy doing the right thing, and it paid off. And it was like a wake-up call, and it was a reminder. And I started talking this morning when I started this video about how my day doesn't really start until my family wakes up, because I love them so much. And even though I get up earlier than them and I go exercise, and maybe I'll do some chores around the homestead, I'll do a lot of writing. By the way, thank you. I can't thank you enough for those of you who have gone to the link in the description of these videos and got some of my books on Amazon and you've read them. I spent a lot of time learning how to actually write, like develop a style. It's a lot of work. It takes years and years and years and years. And so for just one of you to go do that, I'm humbly honored. So thank you for that. But still, until I hug my son, until I see him smile, until I kiss my wife, it's like, hey, those are the good things. My point is this. Those are the good things. This one guy who did not view my kindness as a weakness, and this one guy who very politely and in a very non-time-consuming way of mine for me thanked me. He viewed my kindness as kindness. You know what? These are the things I need to focus on. That guy. Not the guy that might be 10 people down from the person that just said hi to me that I'm afraid to say hi back to, because that guy 10 people down might view me as weak and try to take advantage. Really, it's a lesson for us all. I know it's hard. Guys, I'm 46 years old, and this is hard. And I don't know if this makes any sense. I don't know what the point of this video even is. Other than, my wife's channel. My beautiful bride, Dearly, a.k.a. Giggly Girl. She has a YouTube channel called Life with Dearly. Go subscribe. She made a video yesterday. We went out on just like a little short road trip. We're practicing the social distancing thing, but we kind of wanted to get out of here for a while. We stopped at a pottery shop that there's no one in there. When it's open, it's empty. And there's the cash register, and there's a jar for your money. There's carbon copy credit card slips if you want to pay for a credit card. And there's a sign that says, do you hear that? It's like a growl. It says, we practice the honor system. please, and even the taxes. They say, please multiply your purchase price by whatever the percentage was so you'll know how much for sales tax, because they do pay taxes. And say either leave the cash in the jar, and they have money there so you can get change if you need to break change. They've been doing this. I first went to that shop 20 years ago when I moved here and lived in this area for the first time. They're still doing it today, which makes me think people are honoring that honor system, and they're not going in there and robbing them. They're being honest. They're being good people, and there's no one there to see them being good. So it's not for narcissistic purposes. It's because it's the right thing to do. I'm sure there are more people like that in the world, and like the guy who gave me the simple little thank you note, than there are the others who do nothing but focus on the bad, focus on the negative. And when we're fortunate enough to find those people, those are the people that we need to keep close to us, and those are the people we need to focus on. So I hope you got something out of this. Just wanted to share that with you, because you hear too many of the bad stories. You hear too many of this is what's wrong with the world, this is why I'm not happy, which was a lot of what that first video I made said. But I go down, I kiss my wife, I peek in on my son who's still sleeping, and I see some pictures on my phone of him that I took while it's just, some time ago. There's a saying I've heard it says, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. I think I'll finish by kind of twisting that saying here and saying that whether you think the world is a dark, ugly place filled with nasty, mean people with ill intentions, or whether you think the world is a beautiful place filled with honest, good people with good intentions, either way, you're right.